Cold hands, they might seem harmless, even normal on a chilly day. But what if they're trying to tell you something? Because here's the truth, your hands don't just decide to get cold. It's your body sending a signal, one that could reveal something deeper about your circulation, your hormones, even your daily habits. And while most of us simply throw on gloves or clutch a hot mug of coffee, we rarely stop to ask why this keeps happening, even indoors, even when everyone else seems fine. Could your cold hands actually be a clue that your body's internal thermostat, your circulation and metabolism, is out of sync? You've probably noticed it. Your fingers go pale, maybe slightly bluish. They feel icy to the touch, sometimes even tingly or numb. You rub them together or breathe warm air on them, but the relief never lasts. It's easy to blame the weather, or maybe poor circulation. But what does that really mean? Why do some people's hands stay warm all winter, while others can't hold a cup of coffee without feeling like their fingers are frozen? And here's a bigger question. Could your cold hands actually be connected to something deeper inside your body, like your thyroid, your nervous system, or even your diet? Because while temperature changes can trigger this response, science shows that chronic cold hands, the kind that persist even when you're not in the cold, can reveal subtle imbalances in how your body manages blood flow and energy. So let's dig deeper. What's really happening when your hands go cold, and how can something as small as your fingertips reveal so much about your overall health? To understand that, we need to talk about circulation, your body's built-in heating system. Think of your blood vessels like an intricate network of highways. When your body temperature drops, the autonomic nervous system, the part that controls things like heartbeat and digestion without you thinking about it, sends a signal to constrict the tiny blood vessels in your hands and feet. Why? To conserve heat for your vital organs, your heart, lungs, and brain. It's your body's way of protecting its core. So yes, sometimes cold hands are just a normal physiological response. But here's where it gets interesting. In a healthy system, once the environment warms up or you start moving, those vessels relax, blood rushes back, and your hands return to normal. However, in some people, this mechanism overreacts, or doesn't recover properly. That's when cold hands become more than just an inconvenience. Because if your blood vessels stay constricted too long or your microcirculation, the flow through your smallest capillaries, weakens, your tissues aren't getting enough oxygen or nutrients. And that can point to something deeper, issues with your thyroid, your nervous system, nutrient levels, or even your lifestyle. Here's where things start to get surprising. Because while we often blame bad circulation or poor blood flow, the real story is much more complex, and often rooted in how your body manages energy and stress. One of the most overlooked causes? Raynaud's phenomenon. This is a condition where the tiny arteries in your fingers suddenly narrow, sometimes triggered by cold, sometimes by stress. It's like your blood vessels have an overprotective reflex. They shut down circulation at the slightest hint of chill. Your fingers might turn white, then blue, and only flush red again when blood finally returns. It's not dangerous for most people, but it is a red flag that your microcirculation, the network of the smallest blood vessels, is hypersensitive. And that hypersensitivity can hint at problems elsewhere, such as thyroid disorders, autoimmune issues, or nerve dysfunction. But there's a second, more modern culprit behind chronically cold hands, one that most people never think about: a sedentary lifestyle combined with high sugar intake. Let's break that down. When you sit for long hours, blood flow to your extremities naturally decreases. Your muscles aren't contracting enough to help pump blood efficiently, especially to your hands and feet. Now add in a diet high in refined sugars or processed foods, and you're quietly damaging your blood vessels on a microscopic level. High blood sugar stiffens and inflames your capillaries, those tiny, hair-thin vessels that deliver oxygen to your fingertips. Over time, this reduces flexibility and responsiveness. It's just like trying to water a garden through a kinked hose. No matter how much pressure you apply, the flow is weak and inconsistent. That's why even younger, otherwise healthy people can experience cold hands. It's not that your body can generate warmth, it's that your microhighways are partially closed off. And the result? Chronic cold hands that don't warm up easily, even in a cozy room. But that's not all. Chronic stress, the kind we live with daily, also plays a huge role. When your body is under stress, the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight branch, becomes dominant. It diverts blood away from the skin and extremities toward your core muscles, as if you were preparing to run from danger. Except you're not running. You're sitting at your desk, scrolling through emails, while your hands quietly lose circulation. Over time, this pattern trains your blood vessels to stay constricted longer. Your hands become the first place to show it, cold, pale, even slightly numb, a subtle but powerful clue that your body's stress circulation loop is out of balance. So what happens if this continues for months or years? How does a small annoyance like cold hands evolve into something that can actually impact your overall health, or even signal deeper dysfunction inside your body? That's where things get serious. Imagine this: you're sitting at your desk, typing, scrolling, sipping coffee, and your hands feel icy again. You shrug it off, maybe rub them together. But under the surface, something deeper is happening. When your extremities repeatedly lose blood flow, your cells begin receiving less oxygen and fewer nutrients. Over time, that constant undersupply can lead to subtle but measurable changes in tissue health. Cold hands are not just about discomfort, they are often the first visible sign that your microcirculation is struggling. And when your smallest vessels are underperforming, it doesn't stop at your hands. The same capillaries exist in your eyes, your brain, your kidneys, everywhere. So, if your hands stay cold most of the time, it may reflect a systemic issue, your body's ability to distribute blood and energy evenly. Now, think of your thyroid, the small butterfly-shaped gland at the base of your neck. It's the body's thermostat. If it's underactive, as in hypothyroidism, your overall metabolism slows. Less heat is produced, your blood vessels constrict more easily, and cold hands become a daily reality. Low thyroid activity can also bring fatigue, weight gain, dry skin, or hair loss, but many people notice cold hands before they notice anything else. And there's another layer: nutrient deficiencies. Low levels of iron, vitamin B12, or magnesium can affect how efficiently your red blood cells carry oxygen or how well your blood vessels relax. If your cells can't transport oxygen properly, your hands may feel cold no matter how warm your environment is. Over time, this can spiral into a feedback loop. Poor circulation, less oxygen, weaker tissue performance, even poorer circulation. And here's the part that often gets overlooked. This microvascular dysfunction doesn't just make your hands cold, it can also make your brain foggy and your energy levels inconsistent. Because your brain, like your hands, depends on steady blood flow. When that falters, so does focus, mood, and even sleep quality. It's your body's way of whispering, something isn't balanced. So, yes, your cold hands could be an early, gentle warning sign of a deeper metabolic or vascular issue. One that develops slowly and silently, often years before bigger symptoms appear. But here's the good news: you can reverse much of it. Because circulation isn't just about medicine, it's also about movement, breathing, and how you feel your body. And the habits that warm your hands from within are surprisingly simple. They start with how you sit, eat, and breathe each day. Here's the truth: warming your hands isn't just about wearing thicker gloves, it's about improving how your body moves energy. So, let's start with the basics. The simplest, most underrated fix for poor circulation is motion. Every time you contract a muscle, even slightly, it acts like a mini pump, helping push blood through your veins and capillaries. Try this: every 30 minutes, rotate your wrists, open and close your fists, or simply stretch your arms above your head. It sounds small, but that mechanical movement literally squeezes blood back toward your heart, improving circulation in seconds. Long hours of sitting, on the other hand, keep blood pooled in the lower body, leaving your extremities cold and oxygen-starved. So think of these tiny movements as circulatory reminders, nudges that keep your body's internal heating system switched on. Remember how high blood sugar stiffens your capillaries? Reducing refined sugar and ultra-processed foods helps preserve the flexibility of those vessels. Studies show that just a few weeks of cutting excess sugar and increasing fiber can improve microvascular function, meaning warmer hands, better energy, and even clearer skin. If you need warmth, reach for foods that help blood flow instead. Beets and dark leafy greens rich in nitrates that relax vessels. Citrus fruits high in vitamin C, essential for vessel integrity. Omega-3s from fish or flax seeds reduce inflammation and improve circulation. These aren't supplements, they're real foods that help your vessels regain flexibility. If your hands are always cold, even in summer, consider checking your thyroid function and iron levels. An underactive thyroid or low iron can silently impair heat production. Even mild deficiencies in vitamin B12 or magnesium can affect how your nerves and vessels respond to temperature. Sometimes, the problem isn't lack of warmth, it's lack of communication between your nerves and blood vessels. Because when your body lives in fight or flight, blood stays trapped in your core. Simple breathing exercises, like inhaling for 4 seconds, exhaling for 6, activate the parasympathetic system, telling your body it's safe to relax and reopen those vessels. Even 2 minutes of deep breathing can raise fingertip temperature by a degree or more instead of external heat. Think internal, gentle exercise, proper hydration, and balanced nutrition. It's about training your circulation to respond naturally again. Over time, your hands will stop shutting down so easily because your whole system is running more efficiently. So, yes, cold hands may start as a minor nuisance. But with small, consistent habits, they can become your daily reminder that your body thrives on motion, balance, and awareness. Your warmth isn't lost, it just needs better circulation to find its way back.